So there I was, looking down the list thinking, can I tick anything off yet? Can we all? But, like mentioned, ticks on all the parts are either here or ordered. Name of the game. But we are halfway through, nearly there, on order, probably the last job. Next job after the rear quarter, same with them, and then front panel. No, we're nowhere near, are we? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Let's get stuck into this episode. Let's finish this boot floor and then move on to that quarter once I've found out where I'm going to put all that stuff. Right, so like mentioned, more new steel, more marking out, and we're going to crack on with this side. The aim of the game is to get both sides the same. Not going to do much tidying up right now. We're just putting some primer on it to keep rust at bay. What will be really nice is to have the boot floor pretty much there. Take this last brace bar out, and then, to be honest, until this panel arrives, it's going to be it really for the back end, because I need to marry everything else off this. So obviously we'll reform this new lip and things like that once the back panel comes in. I can see us having to do a little bit of fabrication work on the inner lip, so a bit more fab work for you guys. I enjoy kind of making things at the moment. I know these are just really basic little plates, but I just want to kind of save bits, make brackets up for bits and pieces and stuff like that. So there's a few little bits and bobs that we'll need some stuff making for on this car later on in it. So, but for now, we're just putting it back together. But as much as I'm dreading it, I really want to get onto the other quarter, because really once both quarters are sorted, back panel balance, and then front end, and the car's really start looking like a car. Like mentioned previously, we've got a brand new boot lid and the bonnet's salvageable, so we're going to be golden. We haven't got to do any door skinning or anything like that. Both the doors have previously been skinned on this car and in great shape. So it'd be nice, it'd be so nice to start getting some paint on this car. So, but we're still a long way off that, as much as I keep dreaming. So let's get over to the bench, let's get this cut out, let's get the boot area cleaned up, and let's try and get this brace bar out by the end of this episode, guys. So thank you for bearing with me. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber. Also, in the link description below, there's a few ways that you can support the channel. Obviously, just you guys giving me a thumbs up and commenting away is absolutely enough, but a lot of people do ask if they can give more, so please give away. It'll all go back into doing these videos and keeping this channel alive. Let's get to the bench. Right, so my original plan of using just a nice sheet bit of steel has turned into making a new panel altogether, which I'm now going to fold. I'm going to show you a quick trick. It's really easy. Just using a vise and a hammer, you can make some folds and stuff like that. Just tap it around, keep checking, and you'll get it where you want it. It's quite handy when you're making little bits and pieces like this. The reason why I do this is I want to try and tie into the rear arch a little bit. Like this side already had more left off the panel, if you know what I mean. That side was obviously a lot worse. So what I'm going to do is have kind of this bit on the bottom of the floor carrying on from the actual subframe mount, and I'm going to put a piece folded up against the wheel arch. I just think it added a little bit more strength, and it looks like it's what someone's tried to do, but I've just had to cut it all out, which has revealed more rot on that subframe mount. So just try and do it right, give it a bit more strength again. So we're going to just bend this up, so I'll get you set up on the vise. Yeah, let's get to it.
yeah, we'll do something like that, and obviously I'll fold up to the arch, so I'll keep tapping that round, and be golden.
Right, so you can kind of see where I'm going with it now. So obviously this panel here, it's tacked onto that from factory. You see them tack there. So a chunk of this is missing, hence why I want to put this in. So I'm thinking the lower part makes back what's missing from this. And then this bit, once I've bent it just a bit more into shape, should make up the rest of it and form quite a nice solid corner to the car. That's my thinking anyway. The original panel came on a little bit further from here, which is what the other side has got, but I'm kind of feeling like while I'm here, why don't I just put that in, once all the lights in and bits and pieces like that, this car's going to run a boot liner and things. It's not like it needs to look factory in here, if you know what I mean. I'm kind of going for belts and braces strength. I think that's going to be a good shout. It's got rid of the bodge that was there, and it's going to give it a bit more strength. So I'm thinking, start cleaning everything up. I can obviously tack all this together and then tap that to meet the wheel arch up there. So just going to get a marker pen out and just mark out where it goes, so I've got a line to clean up some fresh steel. And yeah, and then it's literally just do the same, stitch all this, get that out. Right, where have we got up to? So, you saw me cut out then, the brace bar's gone, feels mad. Like, it's not been like that for a long time. I've cleaned back here, see the shiny bits of metal, so I'm going to just stitch them back together, so that's that done. Got a few more stitches to do along this side, you can see I've done a few there. That panel's completely in and I've started to tidy it back, but I'm not going to get mad because I'm going to have to weld from the underside to put the scuttle closers in. So it seems a bit silly to go mad with it. All I've got to do now is really clean these back. So that is all that is left. So I'm going to go grab the welder out, stitch them up, stitch these bits up, and then the bulk of it's done, do you know what I mean? And I'll just quickly tidy them up off camera. I don't know how I'll even go about filming that corner. But yeah, but we're getting there, I'm quite happy with it. So the welds have gone nice, they're nice and strong. Everything's cleaned back well. Yeah, just that to sort, that to sort, that to sort. And we're getting there. Once we're done on here, guys, we are going to move around to do the other quarter panel. That's what we're doing. Quarter panel, yeah. So you spend so much time working on cars, no, just to get wet. Right, I think that puts place for the rest of the garage time today. I'm going to have to try and seal my garage up. We just had a massive downpour of rain, which we've been needing for a long, long time. It's leaking over the front of the car. I've just put like some plastic down for it to run off at the moment. So I'm going to have to get stuck in and sort this out. Yeah, this is shit. I don't swear on this channel, but this It really gets you down when you spend so much time on something. Right, catch you in a bit, guys. We'll get that boot floor finished once I've found my boat, some wellies and a raincoat. Captain, we're going to need a bigger ship. I need to put all my cars in and leave. Right, so after that minor mishap with bad weather, we're now greeted a few days later with absolutely beautiful weather. So let's get this finished now. I mentioned I'm really not going mad tidying anything up. I've got to do welding from the underside, I've got to sort the arch out, I'm just getting it welded. So where do we get up to? So both subframe mounts are now in, you know, it's absolutely rock solid. That's the balance moving. But now what we've got to do is do a seatbelt anchor point now, which we kind of cleaned up and we're ready to rock and roll with. So last job of the day, we are going to get that welded to the boot floor. It's a big structural part of the car. Obviously this car is fitted with seatbelts from factory, being an 89 Mini. Then all that really leaves at this back end, I'd say that's all that leaves, not really, is we're waiting for this to arrive. Until this back panel arrives, then we can't do a lot with it. There's been a few comments of like why we're changing the whole back panel. Yes, it's bent here. We did have an anchor point for the jig on it, which didn't help, hence why the jig went. But also where this met the boot floor here, so obviously the new panel will meet that and it will get pulled up tight. It was all rotten, so obviously we're replacing all 3 layers there. It's also heavily bubbling there, starting to go this side. This side's okay on it, but it's actually gone through and corroded along the top. So it's part and parcel of kind of trying to do this car. It's just get rid of the rot. You can see I started to drill out this, which is the mount for the boot. So I need to make sure I continue to do that. But yeah, also you might have noticed on the MPI Mini that there was a little bit of corrosion here on it. So we're hoping to save this part of the panel to maybe help on the MPI its last little bit of welding that it's having done. So who knows, this could be a good video, another saving video. Talking of saving, there's a really quite interesting video coming on Wednesday this week, so stay tuned for that, guys. Something a bit different for you all. In my eyes, it's kind of celebrating reaching 4K subs, so massive thank you to you all for that. There you go, guys. So you can see that I've mimicked the original little stitch weld, along there. So obviously the spare tyre and things that's in there. I've just looked at the sidewalk and it only had as the welds on the 3 tangs, but I've put 2 up top as well, so more strength. Obviously from the underside of the panel I need to sort out all the paint that I've now burnt off. But for now, I think that calls this video it. So the boot floor is as far as I can possibly go now, without more panels, and without kind of the next stage moving on. So I've got the fuel tank bracket to fit, but I'm gonna uncover the sidewalk, double check how it sits. I've got my measurements in the original floor, and then we'll get that welded in. But I'm really hoping the spot welder is gonna reach that when this panel's out, so I can make a nicer, tidier job of that, because obviously this isn't a conventional way of doing things, but it's absolutely solid. All that's left to do is just weld these rear tabs on, and then we're golden with here. But like I said, this is probably as far as I'm going to go for now, just purely because there isn't the panels yet to finish it. So we're now going to carry on, I think, moving around the car and get on with the door bin, quarter panels and everything on the other side. So a little bit of a repeat, So I'll try and film as much as I can and kind of skip along the details a little bit, keep you guys kind of engaged with it. But a lot of you did find it quite helpful, because I for one didn't know how it all went together, so I learned a lot doing that. So we're going to flip around to the other side. I've cleared quite a bit of the crap out of my garage. That's gone into my store, my lockup, and yeah, we've got space again. We are getting there, guys. Like mentioned, there was a video coming out on Wednesday, which is a bit of a thank you, I guess, and a bit of a random, have a bit of fun video. For reaching 4K, I thought I'd do something a bit random. So please enjoy that, guys. It's something so out there and so different, but I've really enjoyed doing it, and you'll see it in future videos. So that being said, please give this video a thumbs up. It massively helps us. It helps our videos do so well on YouTube. It's just humbling to know that you're really liking it. Anything you want to know, drop in the comments below. Once again, thank you for watching. Smash the subscribe button if you haven't already, and check out our sponsors in the link description below. Frost. We're moving on. One thing's for sure is this has been a bit of a test for this mask swap, and Frost very quickly is one thing I've struggled with is light coming from the back of me. When welding the other way, like welding on the driveway and stuff, I really struggled with it. But this, with it's got a auto aperture kind of setting on it, it completely shut out the rest and focused on what I was doing. So Eastwood masks, I can fully recommend them, guys. I'm not just saying that. Very, very good. Catch you next one, guys. Look after yourselves.